my god, what is this? Is this a dead body? It's me! Am I dead?
Death never comes easy, but it's a part of life. At this point of time, your mom still has the ability to save someone. Would you consider donating your mom's skin?
Now is not the time to talk about this. Skin donation. What is that? I don't know. My mom never told me anything about it. We have not talked about this topic before. I don't even know what skin donation is.
Huh? Skin donation? What's that?
So, skin donation is the donation of the outermost layer of a skin of a person who has passed away. The skin is used to treat severe burn patients who might otherwise die from infection without a healthy skin.
Burn victims? You mean my mom's skin can help burn victims?
My skin?
Yes, the recovered skin can be used to dress burn victims' wounds. Otherwise, they might die.
But how is it done? Will she be disfigured? My mom hates looking ugly.
Yeah. Will they remove all my skin? I don't want to look red and bloody and ugly.
As only the outermost layer of the skin is recovered, the area simply appears paler than normal. The amount of skin recovered is about the thickness of 4 sheets of paper.
Really? Does this mean that an open casket funeral is possible?
Yes. So the skin is only recovered from the patient's back or lower limbs. So an open casket funeral is possible.
I see. But I don't know what she wants.
I understand that this is a very difficult decision. I can give you some time to make this choice.
Girl, I think you should just donate Mummy's skin. It's okay, Mummy is dead already. If I can help other people stay alive, just donate.
But I really don't know what she wants. We never thought of talking about this kind of topic before. She always didn't like bringing up the topic of death. There was never a chance for me to talk to her about this. I was never gonna talk to her about it anymore.
Girl, I'm telling you, it's okay to donate my skin. You hear me or not? It's okay, just donate.
I think I better not donate, just in case she doesn't want to. Doctor, I think I don't want to donate my mother's skin. We never thought about this before. What if she doesn't want to? I really don't know. So I think, to be safe, let's not donate her skin.
This is the most common scenario we face. Family members not talking about the issue and not knowing of each other's preferences.
For this reason, our group has set the following objectives for our campaign: to increase knowledge about what skin donation is, for people to be more receptive to skin donation and talking to their families about it, and finally for them to actually engage in family discussion and ultimately opt in as skin donors. In order to find out which messaging technique will best help us to achieve these objectives, we looked at the gap in the industry and conducted an experiment.
Moving on into our industry analysis, looking at the existing campaigns, we have the National Organ Transplant Unit's Live On campaign, as well as the Sing Health Transplant Team's campaign. For the types of posts, using Live On as an example, there are feature stories, news clippings, event coverage, and lifestyle content. We observe that these posts are mainly made use of emotional persuasive messaging and are lacking in informational persuasive messaging. This could possibly be the main reason for the campaign's low awareness levels, when members of the public have a rough sense that a form of organ donation campaign is being conducted, but are generally unsure of what the campaign entails.
In our experiment, our group decided to compare emotional persuasive messaging with informational and a mix of both. So for informational persuasive messaging, we developed infographics that convey facts about skin donation to educate our participants. For emotional persuasive messaging, we developed narratives in the form of blog posts written from the point of view of a burn survivor.
This is how we conducted our experiment, where we divided our participants into 3 groups and analyzed how the exposure to different types of messages affected their knowledge, attitude, and behavioral outcomes. Moving on to the messaging techniques, here are 5 insights that we have derived related to advertising. For our first insight, we found that using a mixed method messaging strategy is most effective in improving attitude and behavior. With reference to this table, the mean score for group 3 is almost always higher than that of group 1 and 2. This shows that the exposure to both informational and emotional persuasive appeals are most effective at achieving knowledge, attitudinal, and behavioral campaign objectives. Furthermore, through our interviews, it became apparent that exposure to both infographics and narratives had the most impact on participants. This can be seen from the difference in the participants' answers when asked if they would opt in to be skin donors. Those who were exposed to both messaging techniques were confident that they would want to, whereas those who were only exposed to one were uncertain and hesitant. Looking at this table, through our study, we found that the 2 messaging techniques play different but integral roles in encouraging the desired attitudinal and behavioral change. The narratives capitalize on emotional appeal to those who are already favorably inclined to our intended messages, while infographics increase awareness and provide detailed instructions on how to go about the behavioral change.
Secondly, we found that analogies are most useful in aiding knowledge acquisition. All participants in groups 1 and 3 answered correctly that the statement, "If I donate my skin after passing away, an open casket funeral will not be possible," is false. In contrast, when participants were not exposed directly to facts on skin donation in group 2, 62% answered at least one question wrongly, where 37.5% answered both questions wrongly. Separately, when asked for their opinions on the campaign materials during the FGD, participants shared that infographics linking the amount of skin to 4 sheets of paper made it easy to remember, whereas some of them were unable to recall numbers pertaining to other facts, such as the average number of skin donors a year. Analogies are mainly used to persuade, explain, or illustrate a concept, taking advantage of the structural similarities that exist between something that the target audience is familiar with and something new to them. This makes it an ideal tool to educate the target audience. In the advertising world, analogies draw consumers' attention to and increase their knowledge of a relatively unknown product. Previous studies have shown that using analogies in product descriptions allow consumers to understand the unique benefits of the new product better, as well as increase its salience, as compared to simply listing its attributes or providing literal similarities. Hence, when coming up with new product launch advertisements, which tend to be complicated with a number of technical attributes that the average customer is relatively unfamiliar with, advertisers can focus on a few unique strengths of the product to allow customers to better understand and so adopt the desired action.
For our third insight, we found that messages need to convey the urgency of adopting the desired behavior. The mean scores to the statement, "More people should opt in to donate their skin," for group 1, 2, and 3 increased from the pre-campaign average of 3.56, showing that all 3 messaging techniques were able to encourage an attitudinal change. The mean scores to the statement, "I am likely to donate my skin," for groups 1, 2, and 3 also increased from the pre-campaign average of 2.94, showing that all 3 messaging techniques were able to encourage an attitudinal change. When comparing participants' attitudes towards skin donation and their attitudes towards talking about skin donation with their families, the mean score decreases. Here are some infographics showing the certain findings from our focus group discussion. such as it is too early to do anything, I can't imagine myself dying in the near future, so there's no sense of urgency, it's too much trouble to opt in, and if I remember to. With advertising, there is a need to convey a sense of urgency, so that people will need to heed the call to action ASAP and not think of it as something to do in the future.
For insight number 4, we found that messages need to convey relevance of adopting the desired behavior. When asked a week later, the statement, "My family has discussed organ donation," the mean average remained low, showing that most either disagreed or strongly disagreed. This shows that despite understanding the importance of talking to their families on skin donation, few eventually adopted the behavior. Some various participants identified in engaging in this behavioral change are that it was not relatable and that they would not know how to broach the topic. One participant also said that he would expect his parents to talk to him about it first instead of vice versa, because of the higher possibility that he would outlive them. The results show that the inertia to follow through with their intention is still greater than the perceived relevance of the topic to the individual. As most of the participants were noted to be unable to see the relevance of speaking to their family about skin donation, which resulted in most of them not engaging in the desired behavior. One reason could be that we did not have any information on why family discussion is important. Only some participants were aware of the family's role in organ donation, and of those who were aware, they did not see the topic as something that they could randomly bring up. Therefore, there is a need to link skin donation with something that can be a conversation starter so that the target audience can use that as an opening to talk about skin donation. The scene that was screened at the beginning of this video tries as much as possible to show the relevance of family discussion. In advertising, linking the issue back to the audience so that they can identify with it will aid in message uptake so that the target audience will be more likely to heed the call to action.
Moving on to our fifth and final insight, messages have to remain salient in the minds of the target audience. Out of the 11 participants, only one from Group 3 spoke to her family about skin donation after the experiment. Across all 3 groups, a total of 72.7% said that they did not speak about skin donation with their family, as the topic did not cross their minds. This is reflected in the low mean score for all 3 groups in Table 2 for the statement, "My family has discussed organ donation," indicating a lack of salience of the issue of skin donation. In the interviews, the reason for participants not speaking to their families about skin donation was that they had forgotten to. As observed from the post-campaign survey, participants had the ability to recall facts on skin donation, and there was an improved attitude towards skin donation. Hence, our group interprets this as not the participants' inability to recall messages, as the word "forget" implies. Instead, it implies a lack of salience on the issue once the focus group ended. As skin donation is still a relatively unknown and sensitive topic, using issue advertisements or advertisements designed to alter public opinion on certain social issues might be the solution to increase salience of said topic and get the audience to pay extra attention to it. In this case, agenda setting is the most important factor to consider to ensure the effectiveness of issue advertisements, as the main goal should be to highlight the issue and not to change people's minds. This will ensure that advertisers will be able to publish their viewpoints and have greater control over content and placement within the medium, and thereby achieve greater salience. This insight can be applied not only to skin donation, but other similarly new or obscure social issues as well.
To conclude, we found that adopting a mixed method messaging technique is the most effective in addressing this issue. This campaign has provided invaluable revelations in the area of messaging techniques for skin donation and other similarly lesser known issues. In a world of constant evolution and invention, it is imperative to understand and be well versed in methods of dealing with new products and services, specifically how to tactfully broach or promote such concepts to the public. Therefore, with regard to this campaign's relevance to the advertising industry, we hope that our results have advanced the current level of knowledge for addressing unknown or sensitive topics and prepare them for such projects in the future.